Oh my gosh, before we dive in, the live workshop that I just did, your $1 million message, that workshop, yep, it was a huge success. Women came in feeling vague and confused about how to talk about their offer. They were saying things like, Tracy, how do I find the right words to communicate my message and my offer and sell? And But anyway, they left with total clarity and confidence to go and sell in a way that doesn't feel like selling, and it just feels so good. They wrote the one powerful line that now sells their offer. And they get to put this now on their sales page. They get to use this in their DM sales conversations. They get to put this on their content, on their bio, and more. They solve that problem for themselves. Now, if you missed it, don't worry. You don't need to have FOMO. You can still get the self-study bingeable version, actually, just to do it from the comfort of bed or wherever you are. And it comes complete with the bonus workbook. You get to go through it in your own time. But it's only available for this week, and it's just 129 Australian dollars. You can buy it now for lifetime access. Watch it whenever you want, as many times as you want. Just go to tracyharris.co/workshop now. Go and grab it. You'll be so glad that you did, and I can't wait to hear your $1 million message. Go to tracyharris.co/workshop and grab it now. Mums with Hustle podcast, episode 488.
Welcome to the Mums with Hustle podcast, where you'll discover everyday mum entrepreneurs killing it in their industry. Learn the secrets you can replicate to create your own success with your host, Tracy Harris.
Hello from beautiful Bali. Oh my gosh, I'm sitting on my desk. I'm looking out the window. There are pink frangipanis, and then I guess the more common ones, the white ones with the yellow in the center, and palm trees, and it's just beautiful. And so wherever you are in the world listening on this day, I send you love. I send you courage to pursue your dreams. And I hope that you come across abundance in your day, even if that is the beauty of a flower, the magic of a sunset, the smile from a stranger, whatever it may be. And may you be fresh enough to notice it. Anyway, in today's episode, I wanted to share something from my journal. And it's around the concept of, having blocks. Having a block. I don't know, maybe you've heard this phrase like money blocks. What else do people feel blocked by? I don't know. I hear it quite a lot. And I used to use the term money blocks as well for a long time. I think it became a popularized term. And I don't have any money blocks. Ooh, listen to me. Big claim from Tracy Harris. Wait, what? How can she say that? I just don't connect with the phrase, okay? So that's not to say that I'm not always working on strengthening my money mindset, a more supportive money mindset for the sort of life that I'm trying to build for myself and my family, for the amount that I currently give to charity every single month through the incredible not-for-profit Forever projects. Go and check them out if you want to see what they do. Maybe you can become a monthly contributor or a one-off donation. Go and have a look, Forever projects. But, if I want to be living the kind of life that I want to live with my kids, with my family, if I want to be donating generously at even greater capacities, if I want to be supporting family and friends when they need it abundantly, or looking after my mom in the way that I want to look after her, or, whatever it may be, then that takes money. And, money doesn't buy happiness. We've all come across people who have a lot of money, but they're not happy. We've all come across the most beautiful, joyous people who have very little money and are so deeply happy with peace in their body and sparkly eyes. You know, when someone smiles with their eyes, like we've all met those. Well, maybe not everyone's met those people. I've certainly met my fair share of those people, especially because we travel around the world and we travel to third world countries. And so I can say, you know, money doesn't buy you happiness. Absolutely. But it does give you choices and it does open you up to things that otherwise wouldn't be possible. So I, first and foremost, just believe that money is a tool and we need to be good stewards of our money. We need to use our money as a tool to make more, not to sit on it and hoard it and be afraid, but to use it to investing in ourselves, in our businesses, in our health, if your health is a priority for you, in whatever your values really are. Like if you have ever done a values exercise where you truly get clear on what you value, then anytime you're spending money in that thing, it's an investment towards that, whether it's your kids' education or a travel fund for family holidays, whatever it may be. Being a business owner and being an entrepreneur that has been scaling for years and years, like I've been building this business for 10 years. And every single time my money threshold or the way that I think about money has had to grow. And then my business rises to meet that. It doesn't happen the other way around. And I have a lot of conversations with the women inside of my programs and some women that aren't in my programs yet, but they listen to the podcast, they want to be. And they will sometimes refer to having a money block. And so I just wanted to share in the podcast why I never tell myself that I have a something block, whether it's money, whether it's anything else. I don't use those terms because I don't feel that for me, they'd be really helpful or that it's going to send a really helpful message or embed a helpful message into my mind. And if I'm thinking unhelpful thoughts, then it's going to send me down a path that isn't really full of solutions or feeling abundant. It's going to send me down a path of lack. Now, that's just me. That's just me. It's going to take me away from what I actually need to be thinking in order to solve the current challenge or problem that I may be experiencing. And even that word problem, I don't think of having any problems. I'm delusional, right? That's definitely not meaning that I don't come across things that are hard or heavy or things that break or disappointments or frustration or things that I perceive as a dead end. I absolutely do, or things that like drive me up the wall or whatever. But what I've come to learn, and there's a great book on this, by the way, go and give it a Google. It's called The Obstacle is the Way. I think that's the title. Oh my gosh. Tracy Harris, you should have researched before you said that. But just Google the phrase, the obstacle is the way, because that really helped me. Whenever I'm experiencing what I am perceiving as a problem or a block or a limitation, I try to remember that the problem also holds the solution. The problem also holds the solution, or at least the block is now not something that sends me off path, but instead it's an invitation So when I come across something, whether it's money and maybe it's investing in myself, or maybe it's the idea of packing up and moving to Bali with my family. And then, here come all of the unhelpful thoughts, the blocks, the limiting beliefs, the reasons why we shouldn't do that, or now's not the right time, or what about XYZ? Whenever I experience these sorts of perceived problems, I try to remember that the problem is also the solution, or the problem is also my invitation into change. The problem is also my invitation into the solution. My problem is also my invitation into healing that part of me. My problem is also an invitation into my expansion. The problem is also an invitation into breaking into my next level. So the very thing that is causing the perceived problem, or the way that I think about it and the fears that come up, they actually become a sign for me to lean in. So essentially, there's nothing wrong with the phrase having a block or a limiting belief if you're going to lean into it. If you're going to hear the word and contract and pull back from it, I think that's when we need to maybe don't use the word. And that's definitely what I had to do in the past, because the moment I'm telling myself almost like a diagnosis, I am blocked, or I have a money block, or what else would I say? I am overwhelmed. That's another phrase. I had to ban that years ago. I think I banned that one in 2015 when I was trying to rewire my brain and believe that I do have the capacity to be the type of mom and wife and business owner that I wanted to be, even though at the time I was diagnosed with I was on the severe scale of anxiety and depression and acute stress. And so to come back from that was all kinds of challenging. And so paying attention to the language that I was using, that's where I really learnt the power of language and the things that we say and the things that we think, and their role in just reinforcing unhelpful narratives and identities that keep us stuck rather than calling us forward. So saying things like, I am overwhelmed, I banned that. No, I'm not. I am perfectly made. I am exactly where I need to be. I am courageous. I am the woman who keeps the promises that she makes to herself. I am worthy of abundance. I am a really good person. That's who I am. I am here to squeeze the juice out of life. I am someone who believes that money is a tool and I get to use it for good. I am a woman of purpose. There are so many things that I am. And yet I was continuously just reinforcing a very unhelpful narrative, saying things without really considering their impact. Things like, I am overwhelmed, or I have insert block here. So if that's you, if you're someone that maybe uses certain phrases or terminology, or maybe you think certain things, you have a narrative that plays without effort in your head. Oh, another one, and I've shared this before, is things like, I don't have enough time, or we don't have time, and also we can't afford that. Those also got banned because those statements were being rattled off with no effort. And I would just live in accordance to those scripts that I was telling myself. They were scripts, they were prescriptions for how to live. And so I stopped saying them and I started really paying attention to the things that I think and the words that I say. And most importantly, to the meaning that I assign those things now. So now that I've kind of worked through these things, and of course there will always be more to work on, but now that I've worked through those things in particular, I can hear the phrases, whatever block or limiting belief or da-da-da, and I can separate it from being my identity. I can view it for what it is, and I can rephrase it, reframe it for myself instantly. But like I said, I view these things as an invitation to rise, not to resist. It's an invitation to rise, not to resist. So I share this with you because so many of you will send in emails or send me DMs, and some of you don't because you're just that more quiet person in this community. And I value you being here. I value all of you being here, whether you're someone that is vocal and writes in and is a big engager or someone that's just a bit more reserved and quiet. I see you all. I love you all. Thank you for being here. But as you go through your week, try to keep that front of mind. There's a reason the podcast comes out on a Monday. As you go through the week, try to keep this front of mind. Where am I reinforcing unhelpful phrases or narratives and thoughts that really don't serve me? So that you can begin to rise instead of resist. We get one life. It doesn't have to be so serious. It gets to be fun. I think we're here to play all in. I think we're here to have a go, have many goes. Try, fail. Who cares? Get back up, go again. What are you going to do? Not try? No. We learn the most when things actually go wrong and don't go our way. And we need to stop judging ourselves for the times when we've, in our own eyes, stuffed up or whatever. But we can't let those times stop us from living. You're literally here to live. So go out and live it. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. And start to learn that every problem is an invitation. That you got to go through the problem. Learn by doing. That's the number one thing that I've done is I learn by doing. I don't keep myself stuck. Oh my gosh, if you stay stuck, like stagnation occurs, you become a sitting duck. Nothing good comes from that. So just keep moving, make moves and learn by doing, take action. And like I said, it is literally the polar opposite of how I was conditioned to be in the first 30 years of my life. Like I only really shifted into this mindset from about 30, and it was slow and it was gradual, and I feel like I'm still shifting. There's still more, and it's just so exciting to imagine like what life will become in another 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now. I'm so excited. But I had to purposefully undo all of that sort of conditioning, and it was deeply painful and uncomfortable, but that is the work. And we don't do it in isolation. We do it in community containers and with the guidance of a trusted mentor and coach. And that's why I have the beautiful programs that I have today. And that's why they attract the amazing women that are in there to this day, no matter, the level of program or container. We've all got our challenges, and we're all invited to rise instead of resist. So I hope you have a beautiful week, and thank you for being here. And I will see you next week on the podcast. If you would like to know more about starting to grow digital products or your own digital education programs, coaching programs, please just email me, hello@mumswithhustle.com, and I can let you know of your options to be supported by myself and my team. And if you are wanting to focus more on your Instagram marketing presence, you can just email me as well, hello@mumswithhustle.com, because they all lead to having a freedom-filled business. But depending on where you are and what your goals are, there are different spaces and different ways that I can support you in doing that. So just email hello@mumswithhustle.com and we'll take it from there. And I'll see you on the podcast next week. Bye.